Hi team, the man, the myth, the dad legend here. Got a little video for you on Katilda, Dawnheart Prime. So this is my deck list. I've been playing it a bit, getting it down to where I think it's perfect. And I'm just going to go through each card real quick, tell you what's in the deck, and then we'll get into some gameplay. So Katilda, green and a white for a 1/1. Protection from werewolves, which is not super relevant, but it's there. The main ability that we have here is human creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of this creature's colors. So basically we want to dump a bunch of humans onto the board and then use all those humans to dump even more things onto the board and sink our mana to create crazy board states. That's the goal. And we also have a mana sink on Katilda herself, which is great. 6 mana tap, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. And we have some synergy with that as well, which we'll get to. Really enjoying this deck. Hopefully you will too. So Hopeful Initiate, 1 mana, 1/2, training, remove 3 mana, remove 2 counters to disenchant something. Disenchants are great in Brawl, and this guy gets counters through training and through Katilda's ability, so pretty easy to fire this off when you need to. Ollingbot, Escort, 1/1 Vigilance, and you can sacrifice it to give a creature with a +1/+1 counter, lifelink, and indestructible. So this is a great way of saving your Katilda or something important from a removal spell or a wrath effect, since most of our creatures are going to have counters on them. Paladin class, Anthem, and also the 5 mana level 3 is going to get you through for lethal, so it's really powerful effect. Snakeskin Veil is going to save on your important creatures, most of the time Katilda. Contortionist Troop is there to distribute some +1/+1 counters, also a great mana sink because you can make it pretty big. Dawnbringer Cleric, bit of utility, so disenchants, again great in Brawl, gain a little bit of life, or exile a graveyard. Intrepid Adversary, great little Anthem, again good mana sink. You can often spend the ability 2 or 3 times, even 4 times, and make your team massive, so really good card. Luminarch Aspirant, again distributing +1/+1 counters. Sungold Sentinel, exile and graveyard against those decks that have graveyard effects, and also the Coven effect is pretty good as well. Sometimes that can get this creature through for damage where otherwise you wouldn't be able to. Thalia, great creature against the decks that want to play a bunch of spells. Yeah, just messes with their mana basically. Valorous Stance is a great way to include removal in a deck where you don't really want to play removal spells because you would just want a bunch of humans and synergy. So because Valorous Stance can also give a creature indestructible, it deserves a slot in the deck. Inscription of Abundance, this is just a great removal spell, plus distributing +1/+1 counters, plus gaining some life. Just does everything you want basically. Ranger class, busted card, as most of you will know who've played Standard. Also distributing +1 counters, which is good. And then the 4 mana level is going to get you some card advantage. Werewolf Pack Leader, a little bit hard to cast, but worth it for the pack tactics ability, drawing some cards on the attack. Doing a dance just makes humans to create mana. Borrowed Time, because we do want some removal. Elite Spellbinder, just a great card. See their hand, see what's up, make their most important card cost more mana. Wedding Announcement, this is a really nice one, so it's going to spit out some humans if you're not attacking, and if you are attacking, it's going to get you some card advantage, and then turn into an Anthem, which is great. Adeline is going to spit out humans, but also, as you'll see with some of these finishes, Adeline will deal a bunch of damage in certain situations, so great card. Skyclave Apparition, again, we just need a little bit of removal, and it's one of the best options. Dawnheart Mentor, this is going to help with the Coven effects in our deck because it creates a 0 power and a 1 power, and the Coven ability is quite strong. It makes combat steps really hard for your opponent. Hamlet Vanguard, a huge man when he comes down, and Ward 2 makes him kind of difficult to deal with. We like him. Also, he comes with his own +1/+1 counters. Realm Walker, so obviously you choose human here, and then you get some card advantage playing humans off the top. Augur of Autumn, exactly the same, unless you play lands from the top, and then if you have Coven, lets you play creatures as well. Torrens, so he spits out more humans. They have training, he has training, so they get +1/+1 counters. So nice little guy. The deck here. Cemetery Protector, so again exiling cards from graveyard, great utility. And then when you play a land or cast a spell, if it shares a card type with the exiled card, you can make more humans. So you could exile the land, and then every time you play a land, you get a 1/1. Glorious Protector, so this is a Wrath Protectant. Just hold it up, and with Flash, you can bring it in, exile all your creatures. The Wrath goes off, kills your Protector, and all your creatures come back into play. There's not that many Wrath Protectants in the Standard Brawl, so play this one. We wish it was a human, but it's not. Starnheim Unleashed, this is just a great mana sink, making it a huge amount of angels. Sarath, this is a nice one. Untapped creatures you control have hexproof, and then tap creatures have death touch. When they attack, they have death touch, which is super nice. And then when they're untapped, they can't be targeted. Sigardan Paladin, so here's the first card which synergizes with +1/+1 counters. So as long as you put a counter on a creature this turn, this creature has trample and lifelink. The second is really good. So target creature you control with a counter on it gains trample and lifelink until end of turn. Something like Adeline with trample and lifelink is very good. Sigarda, no brainer here. She pumps humans, and then with Coven, she lets you draw humans from your deck. Cloaked Cadet triggers whenever you put counters on creatures. It's not just training, which is great, so you don't have to train to get this trigger. You can get it from activating Katilda. Nice little card advantage engine here. Maya is another Anthem, and then whenever you play a land, you get a 1/1 human. Everything we want to be doing. Inspiring Commander, most of these creatures have 2 or less power, so every time you play a creature, draw a card and gain a life. And it's not limited to once per turn like a lot of these effects are these days, so really good one. Sigarda's Summon, so this one is the card that we want to have when we've got a bunch of creatures with +1/+1 counters. It reads, creatures you control with +1/+1 counters have their base power and toughness become 4/4, gain flying, and are angels, which is not relevant. But the fact that they become flying 4/4s and then the +1/+1 encounters are on top of that. Everbrook Caretaker here, putting out +1/+ encounters. The backside of this card is absolutely busted. It has hexproof itself. All your permanents have hexproof. And then at beginning combat, you put 2 counters on every creature you control. Absolutely stupid card. So in the lands, the man lands, we have all the dual lands we can play, Command Tower, Evolving Wilds, and then some flip cards. So Symbiosis, great mana sink, puts some counters on a creature if you get a small one. Amiri's Call makes some angels. Ambush is a removal spell. Shelter is a protection spell, and Takedown is another removal spell. So great to be able to have lands that also are spells if you are flooded. That's the deck. As I said, really fun to play. I really enjoy the play style. Let's get into some gameplay and see how it plays. Alright, so pretty good hand. We have a 1-drop, which is really nice. Lets us ramp really quick. And we have something which we could play for a land if we need to, or sink all our mana to. And with some nice humans to play after that. Plus Ranger class, which is busted. So we keep playing against Valky, which can be a bit of an annoying matchup because they have a bunch of removal, but generally we can, just by playing out the general and having them kill the general a few times, we can sort of run them out of removal. So yep, can't block that. No mountain, that's good for us. Okay, so foretold a card there. This guy has vigilance as well, so get in for one and then make some mana. So this foretold could be Demon Bolt. We might find out now. I'll Poison the Cup. That was the other one it could be, yeah. Just getting this scry. But this is kind of what we want. We want him to be spending his cards on the general, which we can replay later. And I think these control decks often overestimate how much we want this in play against them. Because the trouble is we can overextend and then end up putting too much into like a Blood in the Snow or something like that. This card will be good against those kind of effects though. So I think even though we can, next turn I'm probably going to play Aspirant. Put the counter on itself, because it also lets me play this land tapped. And that way the Escort is going to provide protection to the Aspirant if he wants to try and kill it, which he may or may not. Okay. Opponent's ramping up to their Valky, so likely next turn they can play Valky, so we can use Takedown to deal a bunch of damage to Valky. So can we play, so we have, if we play this, we'd have 2 white mana, which lets us play Takedown as an instant. We'd only deal 3. Valky, if they targeted my creature with, they're most likely going to +2, so minus is good for us, I think. So we'll play the Forest. So we're just holding up Takedown if we play Katilda here. This can put a counter on Katilda and protect it. Yeah. So Luminarch, Aspirant, and Ollenbach showing us how good the that combo is. So he's going to make a treasure token here. Yep. Okay. Now luckily we're holding priority because we can technically activate the Escort. So okay, that's a good one. Yeah, this guy. Okay, so we can't block that, so we're taking 4. Gelatinous cube. Okay. I'm going to do this now because I want to be able to keep Katilda in play. I think this does work. I hope it works. Okay, good. Alright. So here we have 7, so we could Amelia's call for 2 angels. It's not bad. And then put a counter on an angel in the attack step, which means it can block the dragon. Yeah, I like that. Okay. This puts us in a good position. If our opponent has blood in the snow, which they might, yeah, blood in the snow would be annoying because they could get back the cube. So we might need to make something like, well, I think they would have cast blood in the snow prior to combat. Okay. That's something in my upkeep. Okay. Okay, so we can use escort here to save it. I think we'd probably do that. Oh, I think our opponent probably forgot that that we could do that, so good game. We have mono green Toski here, which I think should be a good matchup. Yeah, this hand is fine. Don't bring a cleric blocks Toski quite well, so we'll just activate this now because I don't want to wait. So because our opponent is mono green, that's a really nice one. Torrens is a very nice one. Okay, yep. Good card, good card. Level up. Okay. An attack. Okay. Yeah, no blocks. We can Dawnbringer Cleric the Ranger class, which I think I'm going to do here. Yeah. Get my 1/1 with training. Okay, well, opponent knows what's up. Didn't really showcase the deck very well there, but we'll take it. Okay. Tolliver. This hand isn't really keepable because we don't have a white source. This one is fine. Yeah, Tolliver is interesting because red-green's likely going to have some removal spells. So I think we will lead with Katilda. Okay, so it doesn't have a 1 mana removal. Okay, so it's foretold something here. Winning announcement. I think it's probably going to be the play here. Spit out a bunch of humans for us, which is what we want. Play the tapped land. Serving drinks, serving mana. Wonder if this is Demon Bolt. Okay, well, they can still Demon Bolt if that's what this is. Celestis is interesting. Yep. We will take the action. So here I kind of like Apparition on Celestis just to put our opponent back on mana. I think I will try and keep the shelter if I can. Which means playing the forest. It's not the best use of our mana. Perhaps we let him have it for this turn and just play the general again. Just good to use all our mana every turn, even if it lets our opponent have it a bit more this turn. Well, funnily enough, Katilda has protection from the Arsonist, so can't. Okay. This is annoying because it is going to keep targeting our creatures, and we can't fight it. We don't have a big creature to fight it with. And Skyclave Apparition can't target it because it costs 5. So, given all of that information, we want to try and produce as many humans as we can. I guess we're attacking here. I'd forgotten that this pumps our creatures, and so does this. So we're now protected from the Arsonist. Okay. Tolivar is a good one. I think we're going to be Skyclave apparitioning that one. So kind of want to fight this as well. So this costs 5. Yeah, I think we can do that. So put the counters on Maya, fight this thing, and then we can apparition this. Tolivar. Okay, let's do that. Do all these things. Put counters here. Target a player who gains life. I'll target myself. Creature I control, creature I don't control. I think we're going to play Symbiosis as a land because it gets us a creature, although it is a good way to sink our mana, so perhaps we don't do that. So we're just going to tap these 3 helpful humans. Apparition your general. Let's play this out. Why not? Let's put a counter on the general. Make the general a bit harder to kill. So this is the power of this deck, is you create these huge board states out of tokens, and it's quite difficult for your opponent to keep up because they can't generate anywhere near as much mana as you can. This is a good start, though. I will say that. This card is, well, our opponents, realize that even with their huge trio, they can't get through. That'll do it for the gameplay. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you give the deck a go. If you have any cards that you think I missed that might be good in the deck, leave a comment. I'd love to hear about it. Really enjoying this deck, so any upgrades, pretty keen to hear about them. Otherwise, if you can give me a subscribe, that really helps the channel, and go check out my other videos as well if you enjoyed this one. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.